Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here today on a brand new Friday review here on the Cabral Concept. It is episode 2156. Friday reviews, as you know, are anything goes. So we do a little bit of everything, which I love. We're going to be going over some updates for the week, high blood pressure, and I would even say there's a few other arterial-based benefits there, varicose veins, etc. We'll be getting to that. Research on dementia and Alzheimer's, and actually a 12-minute meditation that's now been clinically proven to help with Alzheimer's and dementia. So pretty amazing. Love to share that with you. A product that we'll be talking about that can help with allergies. If you're someone that uses allergy medication, you might find a more alternative-based solution to it. We'll talk about that, of course. Now, I've got a book review, funny story that I'll share with you when it comes to this specific book. And again, we'll be talking about that. But before we get into the product reviews, the book reviews, and the research, I always love giving you an update from the week. So this week, of course, has been kind of that Christmas to New Year's based week. Today is New Year's Eve. So if you're listening on New Year's Eve, again, I wish you all the best health, happiness, and so much more this coming New Year. So happy New Year's if you're listening to this after that. And for me, I always talk about this, but really the 2 weeks leading up to the new year is a lot more family time, a lot more rest, a lot more relaxation. If you've been following me on Instagram, you see that I've been posting a lot of my sleep scores from the past few nights. And one of the reasons I've been doing that is to show you, I'm trying to practice what I preach. I've been getting between 8 and 9 hours of sleep every single night. I've been getting a little extra rest. I've been obviously spending a lot more time with family, really enjoying this time of year, not just because it's the holidays. And yes, I love hanging out with my family and all the goodness that goes along with it, but also I'm recharging, right? You can't sprint every single day of every single week of every single month of every single year. It doesn't work that way. So I'm also recharging, knowing in just 3 days from now on Monday, it's what we call the Super Bowl. It's game time, right? The new year is when people commit to new goals, new desires that might be expressed from previous wants and needs in terms of overall health. And my job is just to simply try to steer people I can to the best of my ability in the right direction for them. So that might be running a functional medicine lab test. That might be running the Big Five, right? It could be doing something like the CBO protocol. It could be doing the 21-day detox that we're doing January 10th as a community. It could be the fat loss system to continue to lose weight. Could be any one of these things. But the truth is that I just want to make sure that I'm present, that I show up every single day and even more so than I did last year to try to help people with their goals, right? Give them the right information, the right formulas, the right blueprints that I'll actually be talking about next Monday on the podcast about making their goals a reality. Because I think we think about goals in the wrong way. I really do. I think we think about goals as moonshots, right? It's oh, that would be amazing if that happened. That's not a goal. That's some dream that you have that is not ever going to become reality because you don't actually resonate with that whatsoever. So what I want to do is set real goals. This is a specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goal, the SMART goals. If you've never heard about that, I have a podcast on creating SMART goals. It's really important because a goal should be all but done, right? So you set a goal and then you set about how you're going to achieve that goal, and then you don't have to worry about the end result. It'll be there, right? It'll be there. You'll be able to accomplish it. You just have to hit the steps along the way, and I talked about that 2 weeks ago on a Mindset and Motivation Monday. So hopefully you'll tune into that at stephencabral.com/podcasts. And that's episode 2145. We'll make it easy for you today. Head on over to stephencabral.com/2156. stephencabral.com/2156. If you want to head over there now, we'll link up everything, all the podcasts I mentioned, literally everything, right? We'll link it all up there. The product reviews, the books, the research. Okay. So anyway, basically what I'm trying to share with you is this, is that I've taken a little bit of downtime over the last 2 weeks so that I can more than show up for our community and also my own personal goals. You know that I'm going to be back, and I haven't taken any time off from the gym, but in a new workout program, trying to push myself a little bit more, push myself to whatever those new levels can be. Not to the point of like I'm trying to break my body whatsoever. No, I'm not. It's just I'm simply trying to maximize whatever potential it is that I have. My potential isn't necessarily greater than another individual's. And if you like to compare people side by side, which I don't think that you should ever do, it might be a little bit more than this person. It might be a little less than this person. Doesn't really matter. All that I can do is compare myself to how I showed up last year, the year before that, etc. And all I want to do is try to show up a little bit more in life each year. Get that much better than I was the year before. That's it. And it's right, it's percentage points. I think in the beginning, when we start doing our self-development based work, it ends up being a doubling or tripling or whatever we could be in the beginning. And then after that, it's like, okay, can I be another 10% better? Another 50% better? Like, what is it that I can improve? And those are the goals that I love to set. So I've been doing a lot of that work. I really have. I've been kind of like looking at my goals, but I've really been following what I preach. And I talked about that on episode 2145. I refine my 12-week year every single year, right? And I have 4 12-week years. I do less, but I try to do it better. Meaning I set less goals. I don't do less in life, but I set less goals so that I make sure that I accomplish those goals. Because I used to set too many goals and I wouldn't accomplish any of them. Now I set less goals and I make sure that it's, like I said, all but done. I just need to put in the work. All right. So that's where I'm at in terms of my mindset, my mind frame, right? That's what it's all about. I'm rested. I feel great. I can't wait to get into the new year. And again, that's not just in work. It's with my family. My family's doing some pretty amazing things. I'm sure I'll share that as well. And it's just fun stuff as a family that we're doing, kind of setting up like our new little life after the pandemic. And I know the pandemic's still going on, but we've had to make a lot of changes in life. And I'll share that in the future. And we're excited. We're excited for the future. The future is unknown, but we're excited for what may come. And then, of course, relationship goals and spirituality and work and body transformation and health. And they're all amazing. And I have different kind of goals for each of them. And I look forward to them. I really do. So I want to share with you, though, what we have going on over at EquiLife right now. And the reason why I want to share this with you is that it's always a good idea to know what your underlying health imbalances may be before it actually manifests as a dis-ease in your body. The best way to do that is running through something called the Big Five. I've talked about doing that. I used to do it every single March, just once a year on my birthday. But now I've been doing it twice a year, so March and September. If you've never done it, I recommend running it right now at the beginning of the new year. So the Big Five Labs essentially looks at your vitamin levels, your mineral levels, your heavy metals, your gut function, your energy for your mitochondrial levels. It also looks at your omega-3 and inflammation levels, and it looks at your food sensitivities, and it looks at your testosterone and your DHEA and your estrogen and your progesterone and your cortisol all throughout the day and your thyroid, and it looks at your vitamin D plus your hemoglobin A1C, right? So for blood sugar. It is the most comprehensive set of at-home health tests that you could possibly run. And again, it shows you underlying root cause issues of why you might not be feeling your best, why you don't have as much energy, lower libido, lower energy, lower ambition, lower drive, why you feel like you're aging at a much more rapid rate, why you feel like you're gaining more belly fat, et cetera, et cetera. So it tells you those things. I can't recommend enough. We always bundle it as the Big Five. It's at stephencabral.com/Big Five. We bundle it. And so it saves you about $600 on the everyday price. If you order them all separately, it'd be like $2,100. Well, we take $600 off, and it's usually $1,495. It's an amazing set of labs. And it comes with a 90-minute health coaching consultation. So there's a whole lot of lab companies just saying, oh, we'll run your labs and we won't give you any advice and we won't tell you what to do. And what's the point, right? So you just end up Googling everything, and that is not how to rebalance your body, right? Okay, so what we do, though, is at this time of the year, and we did it last year as well, before the new year, is we are offering an additional $500 off. You still get the 90-minute consultation, but it's another $500 off. So you're saving $1,100 So if you go to StephenCabral.com/big5 and you are one of the first 100 people to grab this offer, well, you save another $500. So it's pretty amazing. And again, it's the most comprehensive health-based test out there. So that's going on right now over at EquiLife. Again, StephenCabral.com/big5. Can't recommend it enough. But let's say you're not able to afford the big five. I totally get it. I understand. There are individual labs that may work for you. Just running the hormones, just running food sensitivity, just running the bacterial and parasite stool test, or minerals and metals analysis, looking at your heavy metals, looking at your minerals. So important, right? So all of those are available at StephenCabral.com/labs, and those are all greatly discounted right now as well. So while supplies last, before the new year, grab your at-home health testing, get a professional plan developed for you based on your unique needs. All right, podcast recap for the week. Episode 2152, that was our Mindset and Motivation Monday. The 3 steps to properly pick an achievable goal. I love that. Really, again, brass tacks. I love just basically saying, listen, there's a lot of chit-chat out there. Let's break this down to what is actually able to be done in the real world by real people, and let's make it happen. That was episode 2152. 2153, the 7 herbs used to combat inflammation and aging. This is basically a part 2. I gave you high antioxidant foods. Let's see here. Was it 2 weeks ago? Let's see. The 3 main reasons to get better results. Well, I'll link that up as well. I don't see it exactly right here. Oh, there it is right there, 2146. Yes, so it was last Tuesday, the top antioxidant foods that you need to be consuming daily. And then I did a part 2, which is the top antioxidant, essentially herbs. And these are amazing ones because they're not foods, but you can add them to meals super simply, and you get all the powerful antioxidants. Believe it or not, many of these herbs are far more powerful than actual foods. So check that out. That was 2153. 2154 was... me going on a fad diet rant, and if you if you did catch that one, I would definitely catch that. That was episode 2154, all about these super low carb or no carb diets and how it's detrimental in the long run. But then I went over, what are better things that we can do, right? I always want to leave it on a high note. Yesterday was committing to the right New Year's workout plan for you. I basically gave everybody 2 options. Listen, there's 2 ways to do this. Choose the right one that's most realistic for you. And that's what I did on yesterday's show. So you can find all of those at StephenCabral.com/podcasts. All right. Product review of the week. So you know that I used to be someone that suffered from debilitating allergies my entire childhood, all of my teenage years, and all of my early and mid 20s. And I'm talking about debilitating allergies, meaning there were times where I could not go into work during the spring season, during the month of essentially April in Boston, Massachusetts, where my eyes would be swollen shut. And I'm talking about the white part of the eyes, right? All red, all dry, all cracking. It was miserable, absolutely miserable. And I had this my entire life. And then I realized, well, you need to fix your gut. You need to fix. So I went through all the underlying things that you need to do. So if you're someone suffering from allergies, there's underlying root causes. And I've done podcasts on that as well. However, okay, you need to fix those things, but what do you do in the short term, right? Because you have symptoms. So instead of medicating myself, this is a personal choice. I'm not telling you, I can't give you medical advice, right? So I'm not giving you medical advice, no medical treatment programs, but I found out about vitamin C, alkalizing vitamin C at a higher dosage. I found out about using quercetin at a higher dosage. I found out about stinging nettles. I found out about bromelain. I found out about N-acetylcysteine, right? So these are things that I used every single day, and they worked tremendously well. So Hispro, during bad allergies, I was using three times a day. Hispro is the name of the product that I formulated to help with histamines, right? With Hispro, histamines, and it contains all of those things, right? So from the scientific literature, high-dose quercetin, stinging nettles, bromelain, etc. So amazing product. So I would use that three times a day, and then I would use alkalizing vitamin C 3 times a day, sometimes 4. And I would use 1 scoop, and basically I would use that 3 times a day. And that works great. However, for a lot of people, they were asking, is there kind of a 1-for-1? And I actually can't name the medication, so I'm not going to name the medication. But a lot of people said, hey, is there more I can do symptomatically while actually working on the underlying root causes, such as the stress, the poor sleep, the poor food, the functional medicine detoxes they need to do, the gut healing protocols, right? Well, there's another product that is very rarely ever talked about, and it's called Butterbur. It's Butterbur, Butterbur. You almost will never hear about it, but many indigenous people, as well as even used in ancient Ayurveda, just by different names, was used as well. And so this is a really interesting one because it works directly on leukotrienes. And if you know you have allergies based on a certain inflammatory component called leukotrienes, which is not just histamine. So for me, back in the day, I could take 2 Benadryl 4 times a day, and I would have no effect during my worst allergies. I want to say, hey, light at the end of the tunnel. I don't have any allergies anymore, whether it's spring in Boston or whether it's a typical daily basis. So, and I'm someone with mastocytosis, massive mast cell production. But again, fix your gut, help with the kidneys, and things get better. So Butterbur, though, can be a great product of using 50 to 75 milligrams once to twice a day. And so this is an add-on product that if you want a little bit even more of an effect, and you know you might have leukotriene issues, well, Butterbur is clinically proven to help with that. So these aren't for long-term, meaning like Hispro. I use Hispro every day. I just use it as maintenance. I like it. I just use it 1 capsule 3 times a day for Hispro for me, so that's pretty easy. Alkalizing vitamin C once a day, super simple. But Butterbur could be used for a period of like 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks if you chose to. And again, I can't give you medical advice, but a really nice product. I can't link up nutritional supplements on my podcast page. The FDA does not allow me to, but certainly you could look up Butterbur on your own at a dosage of 50 to 75 milligrams twice a day. So there you have it. Wanted to review that, and hopefully that's helpful. And now this next one has a little bit of a funny story behind it. And this is a book that is called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. And so this is a book that I read, but then I also listened to the audio version maybe 30 times. No exaggeration. So here's the book right here. This is the deluxe edition. I have the one of the originals as well. It's a book that was definitely life-changing for me. Dr. Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon that got into mindset and self-improvement when, after doing thousands of plastic surgeries, fixing people's, well, not fixing, but changing their nose and changing their shape of their face and all these things, is that he realized 6 months, a year when doing follow-ups with these people that they still weren't happy. That it wasn't about the exterior. It was about changing the mind. It was about changing their mindset. It was about changing how they viewed life. And so I really enjoyed reading this book and listening to it many, many times. And so I said, oh, this is interesting. I reviewed it over this past week because these are some of my favorite books. Some of my favorite books are books by like Jim Rohn and books like The 12-Week Year and many of the books that I've shared with you in the past. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy that I've recommended many times. And I knew I had recommended this inside of IHP and level 1 and inside of IHP Mastery, but I didn't know if I'd ever recommended this on the podcast. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go the same advice like I give everybody else. Go to stephencabral.com/podcast and let's see if I ever recommended it. And I actually pulled it up today because this was kind of funny. And let me see if I have it right here. I hope that I still do, but I may not. Okay, I actually do. So I recommended this last year at the same exact time. So pretty hilarious that essentially for the past at least year or so, I've recommended this book the same exact week. And like, it's just total coincidence that my mind has really been focused on books like this that are all-time favorites, that never go out of style, that are many decades old, yet they hold the information that I think most of us need, and myself included. So it's called Psycho-Cybernetics. Psycho is just basically how your brain works, that's all. And cybernetics is how it works, so how our brain works. And this is the deluxe edition. I will link this up. I'm also going to link up the audio as well. It's good recommended reading or audio in order to be able to understand a lot of the concepts that I talk about on Mindset and Motivation Mondays, where you could be, do, and have anything you want in life as long as you don't hold yourself back. That's really it. right? And this Monday, so definitely tune into this Monday show coming up too, because I'm going to talk about, 5 toxic mindsets that you just need to eliminate. So definitely tune into that show. This is a really nice book, though. It's just a couple hundred pages long. Definitely worth your time. And it's probably on my top 10 of self-improvement books. All right. So I'll link it up today, StephenCabral.com/2156. Let's go over the research for you. And the research today is on, let's see. A new type of meditation. Actually, I shouldn't say that this is new at all. New to the research. So here's the amazing thing. We have all this research on meditations and different natural health-based modalities that have been around for thousands of years. Okay, literally thousands of years. And now they're all being proven through medical science to work. Please do not wait for scientific, and I'm putting that in air quotes if you're watching this on video, do not wait for scientific validation in order to begin these things, right? It's decades, sometimes thousands of years before they're ever proven out. But let me just share with you this. 152 million people worldwide will be living with Alzheimer's disease by 2050. By the way, that's the low end of that number. To date, there's no drugs that have a substantial positive impact on either the prevention or reversal of cognitive decline. A growing body of evidence finds that targeting lifestyle and vascular risk factors have a beneficial effect in overall cognitive performance. A new review in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, published by iOS Press, examines research that finds spiritual fitness, a new concept in medicine that centers on psychological and spiritual well-being, and Kirtan Kriya, a simple 12-minute meditative practice, may reduce multiple risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. So how does it work? Well, there's a 12-minute meditation that I'm going to actually link up for you here today. So I'm going to give you that meditation. And what it is it's actually improving the overall flow through blood vessels, decreasing stress, and improving blood flow specifically to the brain. So it says that it may decrease brain aging and increase gray matter volume. So pretty impressive. There's basically 4 main sounds, chants that you're going through this meditation. It is Satanama. And what you're doing at the same time is you're actually pressing your thumb to your index finger, then to your middle finger, then to your ring finger, then to your small finger. And you're doing that on both hands at the same time while doing the 4 chants. Now, in the beginning, you can just listen, and it's just 12 minutes long. Pretty amazing. I'm going to link it up for you here today. Again, this is now clinically proven. So it's not like, this is woo-woo science. This is something that may work. No, it's actually now clinically proven. So let me just give you the findings from the study. It showed that it increased blood flow to areas of the brain involved in cognitive emotional regulation, increases the gray matter volume, decreases ventricle size in long-term practitioners, may slow brain aging. Let's see. It was found to also help in healthy individuals and caregivers, as well as those with cognitive decline, because it improves cognition, slows memory loss, and improves mood. Pretty amazing. I will actually embed the video again today at StephenCabral.com/2156. All right, last research study for you today. If you know anybody with vein-based issues or high blood pressure, anyone on high blood pressure medication, or maybe borderline, we've known for many, many years, thousands of years, especially in traditional Chinese medicine, that green tea and black tea actually help with blood pressure. But it wasn't always known why. Well, let me give you the actual science behind it now. So this was done out of the University of California, Irvine. And it says, results from the research revealed that 2 catechin-type flavonoid compounds, by the way, these are all things that people call plant toxins. So that's why, again, we need to slow it down with the whole word of plant toxin. But all right, results from research revealed that 2 catechin-type flavonoid compounds, basically CG, found in tea, each activate a specific type of ion channel protein named KCNQ5, which allows potassium ions to diffuse out of cells to reduce cellular excitability. As KCNQ5 is found in the smooth muscle that lines blood vessels, its activation by T catechins was also predicted to relax blood vessels, a prediction confirmed by collaborators at the University of Copenhagen. So those T catechins or catechins actually allow for the diffusion of potassium, which is actually relaxing in nature, to relax those blood vessels and decrease excitability. So pretty amazing stuff. But again, we've known this for now thousands of years. So please don't wait for conventional medicine and modern science, which I do believe in and I love and I read it every single day and I bring it to you each Friday. But don't wait to do what we already have known to have worked for thousands of years. So hopefully this has been helpful. I'll link up all the research, the product reviews today at stephencabral.com/2156. Tomorrow I'll be back with the Cabral House Calls. Tune in for all of those Q&A based answers from our community. And have an amazing New Year's. I truly wish you all the best. And of course, if I can help in any way, feel free to reach out and I will certainly do my best. Take care and I'll talk with you soon. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. And believe it or not, it is already that time of the year. And just to make sure that you make this your absolute best year yet for overall wellness, body transformation, and anti-aging, I need to make sure that you are aware that once a year, this time of year, every year, we offer $500 off the Big Five. That means you are getting already a discount of $600 if you were to purchase all of the labs separately every single day at EquiLife. So we take $600 off. Now, what we're going to do at this time of the year is offer another $500 off. This is the absolute best savings you will see anywhere for the Big Five labs to look at your food sensitivities, to look at your heavy metals, to look at your mitochondrial energy, to look at your gut health in terms of bacteria, yeast, to look at your omega-3 and inflammation levels, and so much more. It's going to show your vitamin levels, your mineral levels. I cannot recommend them enough. I really can't. I used to run them once a year. I now run the Big Five twice a year. I feel it to be that important. You want to make sure that you are not filling up that rain barrel. You want to make sure that you are not on the cusp of moving towards dis-ease. Your job is to make sure that your body is balanced at all times. The Big Five is going to show you the underlying root causes of so many health imbalances. I want to make sure that, again, like I said, this is your absolute best year ever for wellness, for body transformation, and for anti-aging. And the best way to do that is by saving over $1,000, an extra $500 right now this week while supplies last. We have just about 100 Big Fives that we are doing at this $500 off. And of course, each one of them come with a 90-minute health coaching consultation with our team to explain the results and also design a program built just for you. This is why we can't offer 1,000 of these, because we're actually giving 90-minute consultations with each one. There is no better deal out there right now, and there is absolutely nothing better in terms of personalized wellness than the Big Five. You can find it right now at stephencabral.com/Big Five. That's just BIG and the number 5. stephencabral.com/Big Five. I hope you take advantage of this. Have your best year yet.